Hey guys, I'm doing my very first Let's Play, and it will be, of course, on below zero. I'm going to try real hard not to waste any of your time, so let's just get started. Good deal. So,
Welcome to 4546B. Enjoy your stay.
you'll notice on your inventory as you arrive here that you have a new gauge, and that manages your temperature. The longer you stand still, the
New blueprint
faster it gets
synthesized.
cold. And while that's not immediately lethal, it will become quickly
Holy
lethal.
smokes!
So go to
That
fire
did not go as
sources, these
planned.
plants, or back into
I
the
should find a
water
way into the water and get
to
to the
stay
drop
warm.
pod.
Even if you're in the water, if you don't move, you get hurt eventually because of the temperature. So the nice thing about the little quality of life upgrades are a new way to track resources and set short-term goals for building. So if it looks like you can pick it up, try and pick it up.
Ribbon plants contain electrolytic materials that can be used in energy storage.
And anytime you learn a new blueprint, which will happen very soon, you can simply open up your blueprints menu and set a pin on an item, and it will show you
Oxygen.
what resources you need to make it, and of those resources, how many you possess. Yeah, I should go up. So, get into the base.
Found the drop pod.
Great. Make a battery. Then make a scanner.
All right, I have a scanner. Well, Sam, I guess I might as well gather some tools and resources before starting my search. Hope that radio tower's as easy to spot as Lil said.
So right now I'm looking for some rubber, and I need a creepvine seed cluster for that. Looks like there's some right here. That's lucky. Sometimes it's very far away. This is better.
New creature discovered.
Mine. What an a-hole. Okay.
New blueprint synthesized.
Should be
New
able to use
creature
this.
discovered.
So, already oxygen is annoying to manage. You only have 45 seconds, but due to the depth of most of the exploration, even in the safe shallows, you'll find that you'll want to create a tank as soon as possible.
New blueprint synthesized.
But in order to do that, you need other materials. Come here. Good lord. That guy's lucky day. Let's see. Right, so I know I want a
Oxygen.
tank, and I'll need creepvine clusters, which I have plenty of, and I'll also want any metal I can get my hand on. I'm also looking for sea glides fragments so that I can quickly attain that and start exploring with a little more leeway. It's a giant pain in the butt until you get an air tank. So if it looks like you can pick it up, grab it, scan stuff if you
Oxygen.
are curious about it, and you can read about it as you travel. Rubber's pretty useful, so grab a few clusters, make some rubber, maybe some lubricant if you think vehicles are in your near future. Never hurts to have them on hand in your storage. Fence, obviously. Knife. And I'm gonna go back to rubber. Get in the habit of putting everything you wouldn't mind losing into your stash. When you die, you lose everything that isn't a tool. So you would keep these and lose this if you were to die. Let's see, now I have fins. I have a knife, which I can use to gather creepvine. Once I get creepvine, I can make a tank and more easily manage just about everything.
New blueprint synthesized.
If you
Oxygen.
crud. If you really hate the idea of managing oxygen, you can make 2 tanks, which is my go-to move. I really despise how annoying it is. So, all the titanium. Find me a bladderfish. Bladderfish. There we are. Grab this bad boy. Bladderfish is useful for the air bladder. Calls for
Oxygen.
rubber and the fishy. First, let's make some mesh. That's 1 tank. Looks like I don't have titanium for 2 tanks. Just kidding. Also, the creepvine is useful for making first aid kits. Like in the original Subnautica, some things can perform sort of a finishing move and kill you instantly. However, if you have full health, they've got to hit you twice to do that.
To your databank. The standard oxygen tank can be upgraded for deluxe and VIP breathing.
So I'll always carry a few extra first aid kits so I can stay topped off, preventing a one-shot. I'm sure there are things that can still do that, but it's a fairly decent thing to do. So now that I have 2 tanks, see it fills up. So whenever I'm ready to, did I not make the air bladder? I didn't. That's impressive. Okay, so now I can more easily manage my oxygen. I've got the rubber in the storage, and all I need is a bladderfish. Go ahead and take this tank off and rubber off. I'm interested in the sea glide, so I have to keep a 100 to 150 meter radius from my drop pod and search within that circle, and I will find sea glide parts, excuse me. Everything else that I collect is a bonus. And the reason I built a second tank is because
Oxygen.
I can just swap to it whenever I feel like not going back to the surface.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Cool. So my priority is to find a sea glide component to scan. If you're rocking 2 tanks like I am, be sure to always make sure you see it with the green bar next to it, indicating that it has oxygen. It's automatically filled when you're in a base, in a vehicle, with power, or, of course, the surface. I think that's, sure is. What's up? 1 of 3. 150 meters, so it should be somewhere in here. Let's see. I guess if you wanted to, you could scan these, and they would tell you the materials that potentially could come from it. Always titanium and a chance for lead, gold, silver, copper, titanium. This is just the junk, of course.
Oxygen.
Okay.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Go, go, gadget, sea glide. Come on, dude. Maybe a little too far, that would explain it. Ooh. So this is just like a coral brain coral rather. Slam that bubble for some extra oxygen. These nests are sea monkey nests, the seal-like creature with a sometimes grabby these dudes. So they are pretty intelligent, and they sometimes help you, sometimes steal from you. You know what? I'm done. Okay, so
New creature discovered.
sometimes you can find these oxygen plants really close to one another, and if you do manage it properly, when you do have that situation, you don't really need to come up for air. So they're kind of a kindness from the developers.
Calorie intake recommended.
Yeah, I'm over it. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Vital signs stabilizing.
Obviously, you do this
Warning.
with
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
more of a inventory space, and that's a lot easier to fill your food and water needs up. More on that later. Still looking for sea glide portions to scan.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Yeah, story of my life. So, last time I failed to make an air bladder, but I do have the rubber for it now, so I'll go to tools and make an air bladder.
If you are tired of hearing the word oxygen, the air bladder provides a significant upward thrust to help you get to air faster.
And they're not kidding, it's 175 to 200 meter vertical boost. So if you're in a bad place, or a creature is chasing you and you're scared out of your mind, you can travel much quicker than normal, at least vertically, to get away from predators or reach oxygen, and you can even cancel it in the middle of ascending. So I'll show you in just a moment. It's very simple. Why not? So titanium, not here. Throw that bad boy. TI, titanium. Shouldn't be so hard to use it. So, as I was saying, when you use the air bladder, you can do two things. You can activate it and move upwards, but then cancel it. Cancel it by switching to another handheld item. So that allows you to maintain maximum efficiency. You'll be moving upwards, but you can cancel it freely, or if you look up and there's something in the way of you, it would do you no good to, oh, it's completely wasted. Well, that's the surface, so it actually gives me air, but there are other situations where you wouldn't want to be stuck right here, wasting that air, like so. Watch it go down, because I'm not getting anything from it, and if I were to cancel it by switching, I could take the remaining oxygen and put it directly into my tank. So 15 seconds of extra breathing if your solution is not to go up, but to go further, it could be really handy to use and know about. So, just sharing. I'm still on the hunt for a sea glide. Gonna just continue to search for it. The sea monkey nests are a good source of blueprints, as they typically harvest new blueprints for you in a given region. If you can find a nest, or sea monkey in general, follow it around, their nest is not too far.
Oxygen.
You can then quickly get specific blueprints, so that's very nice. Okay, now this mineral collector, it's a big deal. Not only can it be used to find resources that you give a crap about, it can also, I think, find a fragment. Yeah, so the way it works is you use it like so, and there we are. Man, that should really be on your to-do list. I got mine from this supply cache, which pops up on your radar and allows you to get the material for, or the blueprint for. See how as I hold still the temperature is rapidly dropping? That will be bad for me.
New creature discovered.
Great. So now that we have some basic materials, our next goal is to dive even deeper and start collecting rare resources. and blueprints. And where you decide to go is up to you, but I've found that the area directly out of the window of the habitat, or safety pod, life pod rather, is the place to go. And you'll know that you've arrived when you see these structures, these growths. The biome is relatively deep, but I believe it's where you find the next series of blueprints. So you'll want to whip out your trusty handy fragment finder in the mineral detector. So I don't know if it's above me, but I can only assume that it is.
Warning.
It's in this cave.
30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Of course it's in this cave. There we go. So usually these caves have a oxygen plant in them.
Oxygen.
If not, oh, that's crap. Later, Tater. Yeah, good luck with that. So,
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
as long as you are on top of the materials that you'll need to find through your tracking.
Oxygen.
As long as you keep track of that. Now, I've always wanted
Warning.
to test.
30 seconds. Oxygen. Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Sorry, I just tried to swap to my empty tank and fill it back up with my spare tank from the oxygen bubble. Didn't work out.
Oxygen.
Yeah. So with any deeper biome, of course, you'll find scary creatures and hostile life forms. Oh shit. Pardon my French. What the hell are you?
That sounds like a distress call.
Transmission of unknown origin. Source of transmission depth calculated at approximately 200 meters.
Yeehaw! Okay. This area is scary. At least you can kind of see what you're doing. And here you'll find a series of new blueprints to find, also, yes, of course, hostile creatures. So I would
Warning.
advise
100 meters.
not to
Oxygen
go
efficiency decreased.
past 150 meters without a rebreather, and I'm almost positive that it's here. When in doubt, whip out your fragment searcher and get to hunting. This thing is a lifesaver. Honestly, it's amazing. The more frequently these dots appear, they allow you to know your proximity. So I'm pretty sure, yeah, sea truck. So
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
I could use my tank, but I'm ready to get out of here. that might hurt. Yep. Okay. Seems like a good place to take a break. And we'll be back.